Yo, what is going on, my little tadpoles? You got Hikertoad here, bringing you guys week 2 of the Hive versus Joao, coach of the Blackburn Snovers, and this week is a divisional match. We both went, our entire division went undefeated week 1, and so now there's going to be two 2-0 teams and two 1-1 teams after this week, so definitely want to try and get the advantage. So if you've already noticed, I'm going to be doing the videos differently for at least for now, because I rambled a bit when I did the little team builder part last time, as well as I think I was supposed to edit when I switched the tabs. So I'm definite and not trying to edit or check that out, But Joao's draft was Crobat, Raikou, Keldeo, Volcarona, Tentacool, Tapu Bulu, Minior, Mega Aggron, Licky, Spiritomb, and Stunfisk. So surprising things that potentially could have came the Keldeo. I think Keldeo and Volcarona were the top 2 threats, so I'm definitely glad to not see Keldeo, but Volcarona can still just easily sweep me if I give it a free turn. Licky was very annoying in a few mocks. It was just really hard for me to kill, so I was really glad not to see that in the actual battle. And then Minior got 6 kills for him the week 1. It wasn't like a 6-0, but it just got 6 kills. It set up and just swept from there and got all 6 kills. So it definitely thought he might have brought that just because of how well it did week 1. Although I do have some checks to it, but it could definitely catch me off guard if I under prep for it. And so yeah, with that out of the way, the team I brought is Mega Gardevoir, Landorus, Therian, Infernape, Rotom Wash, Doublade, and Pillow-Slime. So the guard is just a basic 3 attacks. It's basically just basic 3 attacks, Psy Shock, Focus Blast, Hyper Voice, then Calm Mind to break the Licky if necessary. I was modest on this, just because his speed tiers were a little weird at under 100, I think. I think I only needed the speed for Bulu, and that's 70, I think, 70. So I didn't really need the speed too much on that. With the Lando, I actually have a bit of a spicy Lando set. We have a mostly special, but a mixed Lando this week with the Rock Polish, Stone Edge, Earth Power, and Sludge Wave with max special attack, holding the Groundinium Z for the Z Earth Power, which OHKOs the Aggron, and even it's a roll in my favor to OHKO it even if he's a max careful nature, even though I think he'd be impish, which is very cool. I could potentially catch that off guard and potentially get rid of Rock and prevent Rock, since you see I don't have removal. I think it kills the Stunfisk as well. I'm not really sure, I didn't calc that. But we have the Scarfed Infernape because, like I said, Volcarona is a threat, so I really need a good check to that. So just standard U-turn, Flare Blitz, Close Combat, and then the Rock Slide in case the Volcarona's really fat and I need to just kill it from full. Next up we have Rotom Wash, just a standard spread. I had Light Screen because he has a lot of special attackers, and Light Screen dealt with a lot. It dealt with Keldeo, it dealt with Volcarona, basically the main things. Because I had a decent switch in to Bulu with the Doublade, and Crobat wasn't really a threat, and neither was Aggron. So I wasn't really worried about that. And I also had the Thunder Wave in case I really needed to Thunder Wave something like the Keldeo or the Volcarona if they were getting out of hand. Next we have our Tapu Bulu answer being the Doublade with the Sword Stance, Shadow Claw, Shadow Sneak, and Iron Head. Mostly Fizz Def and bulky with a bit of attack, I think, for Bulu, just because Bulu pretty much OHKOs everything else on my team, so I really need to keep this healthy. Although if he was a Nature's Madness because this was a Zmon, so if he was Nature's Madness Tapunium Z, I don't think I said that right, he could have definitely been threatening, as he would have weakened my Doublade and then could have put the hurt in on the rest of my team. Then we have a pretty standard Piloswine spread with just with rocks, then or EQ, then the dual ice coverage of Ice Shard and Icicle Sphere. a bit specially defensive because he does have a lot of special attackers, like I said. Like he had the Raikou, which could have been potentially annoying. Helps take hits from the Volcarona a bit better, even though it really doesn't take it well. Even though because I think Fire Blast like half, or at least like somewhat there. Like it almost 2 KOs after rocks, which is absolutely insane. Volcarona is scary. But that's my team. Yeah, that's it for my team. Let's just get into it. Wow. I had the volume on. Wow, that's cringe. So I'm gonna leave with. Wait, alright. So, wow, I just messed that up completely in like the matter of like 10 seconds. So I'm gonna leave with my Landorus Therian, as he's going to just lead with the Tapu Bulu. I can pretty much. I don't really. If he's Scarfed, I live a hit and then Oko him back with Sludge Wave. And if he is a choice item, then I obviously outspeed because I had enough speed for this. So what I'm just going to do here is just fire off the Sludge Wave. I don't care if he switches out, and he's just going to get Oko'd by my Lando. As now he just goes out into his Mega Aggron, and I just don't want to risk the rock, so I'm going to go for the Ground Inium Z, not wanting to risk anything, as he does just go out into the Crobat, which is a very good play, because I really don't have much to hit this, as I'm just going to go for the Rock Polish, in case he wanted to like Brave Bird me, and then like potentially put himself in range of Stone Edge, as he does Toxic me, which is very annoying, because this means Lando won't live as long, but he is the Chardy Berry, which makes sense because I do have the Scolipede on my roster, so unfortunately Lando won't be doing too much right here, but it will still be getting some chip off on his team. I kind of wanted to go for the Earth Power right here, but I kind of just chickened out and went for the safe play of the Stone Edge, as he just goes hard into the Stunfisk. Now I think he's just going to go for Rocks here, as it doesn't take much from Earth Power, and so we can just kind of, then Lando will die afterwards. So I'm just going to my Piloswine. I'm going to go for the Earthquake in case he goes hard into Aggron or the Tentacruel, because I really think that was a possible play right there. As he goes for the Scald, no burn. I don't think he's going to switch out now, so I'm just going to go for the Earthquake once I get it. No, I go for the Rocks, as he crit burns me. Unfortunately, the burn is really only the thing that matters, as now Volcarona could potentially use this as fodder. So I'm just going to keep it healthy, as he does go out into the Crobat, as now this is I don't think he's going to have taunt, or he's not going to go for it here at the very least, so I'm just going to get my light screen up to prevent Volcarona from doing anything. As I'm just going to Volt Switch out on his Toxic, as I can get some good momentum, as this is pretty much weakened, as well as it doesn't seem like he can touch my Doublade, and even if he has Heat Wave, since I have the light screen up, it shouldn't do too much, as I'm just going to Sword Stance up, as he does go into the Tentacruel, which was in, I think, he said it himself, I think, afterwards, but should have went in the Aggron, because I couldn't really do too much of that. As Scald, you kind of just bounced off because of the light screen, but he went for the burn, so I kind of get that, why you would do that. But unfortunately, I do get the crit here, which is kind of, as he does go for the Roar, and then I probably get the best possible Mon that I could have gone out into right there, besides maybe like, well no, I think Lando died to Toxic, yeah, so this is probably the best Mon, as I can just Volt Switch out and get some good damage off on this Mega Aggron, which is unfortunate because now I can just sack off my Lando, and it's because of the crit, sorry about the mouse, because of the crit, it is now in range of my Mega Gardevoir's Hyper Voice, otherwise I would have had to try and chip it down with my Rotom. So I'm just going to sack off my Lando and go into my Mega Gardevoir, as behind the light screen as well. It will still last for one more turn, so he can't go just set up with Volk, or like kill me with Volk. So I won't let him set up, I'll just go for the Side Shock, as I just do a lot to the Sunfisk, as he goes for the Discharge, and unfortunately he does pair me, which means that now, because I think I might have, because now like, if I get paired like twice on the Volcarona trying to set up, he could potentially win. Like if I like go for the Side Shock as he Quiver Dances, and then like he Quiver Dances again as I get paired, I just lose. Or like if he just attacks my Infernape as I try and switch in, being aggressive, then I also just lose. So basically I'm just gonna go to my Rotom right now and try and prevent like Paraturns from happening. I know light screen was a potential choke on my part because I really didn't need it at that point. I don't know what. I should have just went for the hydro pump. That was a misplay on my part. Because now the Rotom's just like low, and if like the Sunfisk lived, then it could have like staticked something else. But he's going to go into his Volcarona right here, as thankfully this is good for me because I can just Volt switch out as he goes for the Quiver, and he's going to die to the rocks, so I can just go out into my Scarfed Infernape and just clean up the game, as it doesn't matter if he goes into Stunfisk and comes back in. So I still, yeah, it doesn't matter if he goes into Stunfisk because that this just dies to rocks. The Volcarona, but the Sunfisk does live. So GG to Joao. Definitely a scary endgame. Well, it was a pretty hacksless game. Unfortunately, I did crit the Blade, like I said, which could potentially change things, but it probably wouldn't have. It was just like annoying. It just made it harder for him to dig himself out of the hole that he was already in, just because I had momentum early game. And unfortunately, the Volcarona was unable to sweep me, because I think that was like his main win con from what I can see. Like Boo, the Breaker, Volcarona, like Igrana Pivot, Tentacle Spinner, Crobat Pivot / like helping out or whatever. So yeah, Volcarona potentially could have won if I like, misplayed at the end, which I kind of did, and I potentially did give it the opportunity to set up. If like it got like, if maybe he got like the static on Infernape and was like, if he attacked my Rotom with Volcarona, then like got the static on Sunfisk, then he could have potentially won, I think. But that was low odds, and thankfully he didn't end up going for that. But we are gonna thankfully, I guess, I don't think that's the right word, but start off 2-0, and next week we go up against Ninrum, I think. Yes, Ninrum. And definitely, and he has a bit of a scary team versus us, some threats. So if you enjoyed the video, make sure you comment down below, my little tadpoles. And if you actually did watch this, let me know if you like it shorter or longer, because I do see that this is like way shorter than the other one. So peace.